Our film begins during World War II with a young boy named Angus. He loves the sea, but fears going near it, always imagining that if he enters the water, he will drown, and no one will be able to save him. He enjoys collecting seashells, just as he used to do with his father. He finds a large, lightweight rock and decides to keep it. His mother, Anna, comes to take him home. He goes to the house's pantry to put the shells and the large rock. As he examines the rock, he notices that it is peeling, revealing a strange color. A slimy, egg-like substance emerges from it. His mother calls him, and he leaves the rock behind. The rock moves slightly after he leaves. Night falls, and the wind becomes so strong that it opens the pantry door. Angus returns to the room, but finds that the egg has fallen to the ground and shattered. He feels movement around him and hears things falling. He follows the sound and the falling objects until he finds a strange little creature hiding from him. Angus tries to approach it, but the creature, afraid of him, tries to bite him. Angus runs to the kitchen and grabs a knife and a potato to offer to the creature, hoping it will eat it. The creature eats the potato and allows Angus to touch it without biting him. However, Angus notices that the creature is injured on its back. He rushes to get the first aid kit to treat the creature. He leaves it in the pantry and returns to his room so that his mother doesn't realize he was in the pantry late. The next day, Angus wakes up to the sound of a military troop stationed at the entrance of his house. Captain Thomas knocks on the door and informs them that the troop will be staying in their garden for a limited time based on orders from the command center. Only officers will be allowed to enter the house. Angus goes to his father's library, takes a dictionary, and heads to the pantry to check on the creature. He finds it eating his father's shoe and realizes it is hungry. He goes to the kitchen and takes the basket containing leftover food, giving it to the creature to eat. He decides to name the creature Crusoe, after the author of his father's favorite book. Angus opens the dictionary to identify Crusoe's species, but he can't find an exact match. After Crusoe finishes eating, Angus tries to touch its skin but finds it very dry and in need of water. He puts water on Crusoe in the basket and finds it happy and enjoying the moisture. Angus begins to care for Crusoe and play with it. One day, his mother looks for him to tell him something about his father. She meets Louis, the new houseworker, and asks him to start cleaning the pantry because she suspects her son is keeping an animal there, which is forbidden in the house. Louis starts cleaning the pantry and sees Angus getting rid of the water Crusoe was in, but the creature wasn't in the water. Louis asks Angus what he is doing in his father's pantry, and Angus tells him that he is cleaning it on his mother's orders. Angus goes out to look for Crusoe everywhere until nightfall. Crusoe has grown in size and is now inside Angus's house. The cook's dog, Strong, runs after it, but the dog is tied to the stove and ends up destroying the kitchen by pulling the rope hard while chasing Crusoe. Rank orders the dog to be locked in the pantry room so that it doesn't cause any more damage. Angus hears his sister scream and come out of the bathroom. He realizes that Crusoe is upstairs and licks her before she can tell anyone. He explains everything to her and assures her that Crusoe is harmless. Angus is astonished by Crusoe's rapid growth, and his sister Kirsty promises to keep his secret. The next day, Anna, Angus's mother, visits Louis to offer him her deceased husband's clothes. Louis thanks her and says that her husband will thank her himself when he returns, but Anna reveals that her husband drowned at sea a year ago, and Angus is still unaware of his father's fate. She asks Louis to fix the bathroom, and as he goes upstairs, he finds Angus and Kirsty inside trying to hide Crusoe. Despite their efforts, Louis discovers Crusoe. After his initial surprise, he explains that Crusoe resembles a water horse, a rare mythical creature said to be hermaphroditic and only lays eggs once before dying. They all remain in the bathroom as Anna searches for them, and Louis asks Angus to keep Crusoe a secret from her as well, to which he agrees. They tell Anna they are helping Louis fix the bathroom pipes and successfully manage to keep Crusoe hidden. During a military banquet at the house, Angus forgets to close the bathroom door after leaving, allowing Crusoe to escape. He is chased by a loose dog belonging to Captain Hamilton, causing chaos in the dining room, destroying the feast, and breaking everything. Crusoe runs downstairs to the ground floor where the military banquet is taking place, with officers and Anna present. He runs under the table while the dog runs on top, ruining the feast. Crusoe escapes the house and jumps into the fountain filled with fish, devouring them until sunrise. Lewis notices Crusoe's increased size and suggests moving him to the nearest lake due to the difficulty of hiding him in the house. Upon Angus's return, he discovers his mother has asked Captain Thomas to train him with the army, hoping it will keep him occupied. This forces him to abandon visiting Crusoe, who awaits him at the lake. Angus eventually escapes from Thomas and goes to the lake to find Crusoe has grown enormous from eating fish. Crusoe tries to play with him as before, and Angus climbs onto his back, swimming in the water. Angus is initially scared, but adapts and enjoys the ride until he discovers the lake is surrounded by a large net set up by the army. They return to the shore, and before Crusoe dives back in, he is spotted by Captain Hamilton from afar. Angus tells Lewis and Kirsty what happened, and the next day, Captain Thomas takes them to the hill to explain the army's plan to repel a potential German attack. He shows them the power of the cannons and conducts a test launch of rockets on the lake where Crusoe is located. Angus tries to stop them in vain, and the rockets are fired into the lake. Angus is punished for being near the rockets and putting himself in danger. A town resident believes he saw Crusoe and watches the lake with a photographer to capture his image, but fails and fakes the photo in search of fame. The picture is published in newspapers, and Captain Hamilton confirms his sighting of Crusoe. Walker and Strunk decide to hunt Crusoe to gain fame as monster slayers. Angus runs away from home to search for Crusoe after the bombing and takes Lewis with him. They reach the lake shore, and Angus calls out to Crusoe until he appears and tries to attack them. But Lewis saves them. Lewis realizes that Crusoe has become a wild animal and will attack anyone he considers a threat. Angus feels sad about losing his friend and returns home, but he hears Captain Hamilton's dog barking and realizes that someone is looking for Crusoe to hunt him. Crusoe attacks Walker and Strunk, who report the attack to the center and request all rockets to be fired at the lake to save them. Their boat capsizes near the shore, and Crusoe nearly devours Captain Hamilton after Walker escapes, but Angus tries to stop him and falls into the water. Crusoe throws Captain Hamilton away and saves Angus from drowning. Lewis, Thomas, and Anna arrive and witness the water horse with their own eyes. Anna is convinced that her son was not lying or imagining. Suddenly, rockets are fired at the lake based on the report from the boat before it capsized. Angus tries to help Crusoe escape the rockets and rides on him to guide him to the right path out of the lake and avoid the bombing. Due to the storm and heavy rain, Thomas is unable to cancel the orders via radio. Observation soldiers report seeing something resembling a submarine periscope and believe it to be a German submarine, but it is actually Crusoe's head. The bombing of Crusoe and Angus continues, and the net is raised to prevent the submarine from passing through. Thomas and Anna chase the boat carrying Angus to save him in case he drowns. They ask Angus to leave Crusoe and hide underwater away from the bombing and return to his mother. But Crusoe dives underwater and jumps over the net with tremendous force, causing it to fall from the tower it is attached to. Crusoe escapes to the sea and finally achieves his freedom. They see Angus for the last time swimming in the sea at sunrise, as if bidding farewell to his only friend. We have reached the end of the summary. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching.